Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we are once again going to talk about that major upcoming snowstorm. This one is going to cross all the way from the Rockies, through the plains, through the Ohio Valley, into the Northeast. Very, very long-lived snowstorm here we're going to be talking about today. Anyways, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, how many inches of snow do you think is the maximum we could see with this snowstorm? Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and I will be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video, and as always, we're just going to take a look at that European model first. We're going to work our way through this, take a look at the GFS and the Canadian model, and then we're going to take a look at the total snowfall according to all of these models at the end there, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be very interesting. Things have changed quite a bit, I will tell you, so we're going to want to see that in a moment. We're taking a look at around, I would say 8 p.m. today, actually, on Sunday, April 18th. And we're going to begin to see snowfall move into the northern Rockies there. Montana, Idaho getting impacted a little bit with some moderate to heavy snowfall, as you can see in the deeper blues. This will, by the time we're taking a look at about 11 a.m. tomorrow on Monday, April 19th, move down into what I would call the central Rockies, Wyoming, Idaho, and southern Montana. But really, it's on the northern half of things there. There is some snowfall extending there all the way in through the plains, South Dakota and Nebraska being impacted. By the time we're taking a look at about 2 a.m. here on Tuesday, April 20th, you can tell that this is mostly a southern Rockies snowstorm by this point. Very heavy snowfall there for Colorado, even the eastern regions of Colorado, which are more flat land, and that extends all the way in through Nebraska and Kansas as well, where we're going to have moderate to even very heavy snowfall in some spots as well there. Very interesting situation we have on our hands here. In the Rockies, we're just going to get slammed. But this snowstorm is not over by any means, because what's going to happen is we're going to see this move into the plains and then into the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and then eventually the Northeast. So this is just going to be a massive snowstorm that's going to stretch over multiple days in many, many states as well, bringing huge impacts along its way. Let's just move on towards about 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, April 20th. And as you can see, it's right in between now. Now we're moving out of the Rockies. There is still some snow showers potentially there for Colorado, but this has mostly moved into the plains now. Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa here. Moderate to heavy snowfall going on by this point, especially for Kansas here by this point. You can see that we have our third shade of blue there, indicating some heavy snowfall for sure coming down according to this model. Now, this is a north trend from what we saw yesterday morning, because yesterday morning we saw this model showing mostly Oklahoma getting that heavy snowfall once it's in the plains. It has shifted quite a bit north here by this point. So we have seen some changes over the past 24 hours, and I'm going to talk about that within this video. My confidence is still on the lower side of things just because of the fact that things have changed so much so far. We're going to have to see where we're at as of tomorrow. But what we're going to do here is we're actually going to move on, and we're going to move on towards where this snowstorm begins to move into the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Ohio Valley, and then eventually the Northeast. Alright, now here we are taking a look, and this is at about 2 p.m. or so here on Tuesday, April 20th, and as you can see, we have some moderate to heavy snowfall going on for Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, and this is just moving generally towards the Northeast here by this point. Chicago is likely seeing some snowfall here by this point. Very interesting situation, and some of these areas, especially on this frame, are very rare for them to see snowfall this time of year. It's just such an odd situation we've been in, with first off that major snowstorm that impacted the Northeast, and now a second major snowstorm going on here for middle April. Huge, interesting situation, especially after the March we had, where, you know, it was not very wintry. Now it's like March is happening in April. It's very confusing, and April happened in March. I mean, we're all over the place here. Very wacky weather we're in. Let's just move this towards about 8 p.m. here on Tuesday, April 20th again. And as you can see, portions of Arkansas are seeing snowfall here by this point. Again, very rare situation we find ourselves in. Southern Missouri as well, widespread moderate to heavy snowfall. Central Illinois up through northern Illinois into Chicago. Northern Indiana, and then southern Michigan as well, seeing that very moderate to heavy snowfall. Heavy in more of the central regions there of the, snowfall. The more middle regions there. You can see it actually gets heavier as we move further east. This is at about 2 a.m. here on Wednesday, April 21st. And as you can see, Illinois, Indiana, portions of Ohio, and Michigan as well, seeing very heavy snowfall here by this point. And eventually, by the time we're reaching about 8 a.m., Ohio becomes kind of the bullseye here. Portions and areas very close to Cleveland here seeing very heavy snowfall, according to our European model. And we're also seeing some of the northern regions of New York and northern Vermont and northern New Hampshire seeing some snowfall here by this point as well. So remember, I said the Northeast could be impacted. That is this right here that we're seeing happen right before our eyes. By the time we reach about 2 p.m. here on Wednesday, you can see this storm has moved into where there is some warmer air. So really it's the western end, the very far western and northern ends of this storm that are actually seeing snowfall. The flooding rains, as you can see, very heavy rainfall coming down from Virginia, North Carolina, the Delmarva, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. Very heavy rainfall coming down. But Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, we're seeing some heavy snowfall coming down near the Great Lakes. And as this pushes further east here by about 8 p.m. here on Wednesday, you can tell that some of those more central regions of New York begin to get some snowfall. And eventually, by the time we're reaching about 2 a.m. on Thursday, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire seeing some very back end snowfall. This has trended kind of away from the snowfall there in the Northeast. We're going to have to watch and see what happens with that. But we end up with just some snow showers there by the time we're reaching about 2 p.m. there on Thursday. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on and we're going to briefly take a look at the GFS models, simulated radar, just like we took a look at on the European, and then the Canadians. And then we're going to take a look at the total snowfall maps according to all of these models in just a moment. All right, now here we are taking a look at that GFS model, and as you can see, just like the European model, we see this entering into the northern Rockies here by this evening into tonight. So we are going to see that snowfall begin. Then for Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, southern Rockies into the plains by the time we're reaching about 2 a.m. on Tuesday. So this is going to be a very long-lived snowstorm, a very slow mover on that western end especially. Then by the time we're reaching about 3 p.m. there on Tuesday, you can see snowfall, heavy at that, around for Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. The location here is actually very similar to the European model, a little bit further southeast still. Remember yesterday I talked about that southeast bias with this storm. By the time we reach about 8 a.m. there on Wednesday, April 21st, you can see that we have Ohio there, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire seeing some snowfall, even Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia. Oh my gosh, very, very wacky situation. Cleveland would almost be a bullseye with this model. We'll take a look at the total snowfall in a moment, like I said, but it does appear like that would be one of the more higher amount areas based on this simulated radar we're taking a look at here. And then by the time we reach about 2 a.m. here on Thursday, April 22nd, you can see this is exiting out through the northeastern United States, bringing some back-end snowfall there for New York, Vermont, New Hampshire at the very, very tail end of this one. Let's just take a look at that Canadian model now, and as you can see, again, entering in through the northern Rockies, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota getting impacted by about 2 a.m. on Monday there, as you can see. And then by the time we reach about 8 a.m. there on Tuesday, April 20th, we can see that it has exited out of the Rockies for the most part. There are some snow showers, but not the main area of snowfall. And then we see Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska getting the most of that major snowfall there from our actual snowstorm we're talking about today. And then by the time we're reaching about 8 p.m. on Tuesday, you can tell that this storm has really weakened by this point. This model likes to show it weakening as it heads further east, which is going to kind of, lower those snowfall totals, of course, compared to the GFS model and compared to the European model. But we do still see some moderate snowfall going on for Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan there by this point. It does, however, re-intensify by about 4 or 5 a.m. on Wednesday, April 21st, as we do see some heavier snowfall for Indiana, portions of Kentucky, and Ohio there as well. And then as this moves up into the Northeast by about, I would say 8 p.m. here on Wednesday, April 21st, you can tell that it once again kind of weakens. We do see some snow showers. We do see some flooding rains on the very eastern coast there. But really, snowfall is pretty minimal by that point. Let's take a look at our total snowfall maps. And first off, here's the European model. So we're going to just break it down by amounts. First off, the grays is where we're at about a dusting, if anything. The lighter blues is where we're at 2 to 6 inches of snow. The purples is 6 to 10. The pinks is 10 to 20. And then those pastels, that's for mostly just Wyoming there. There's a little dot of it in north central Wyoming. And that's where we're going to be about 20 inches plus. The pinks, so pinks 10 to 20 inches of snow. That's kind of our bullseye here. We see a lot of that for the Rockies. Not so much there for the Great Lakes or the Ohio Valley. We do see some purples there, though, 6 to 10, which will be a plowable snow event. The GFS, since it has that southeast bias, it keeps those pinks over New York, Pennsylvania, and possibly northern Vermont as well. So this one would be further southeast. And then the Canadian model, you can tell there's more minimal amounts in between, but we do see those blues there for the Ohio Valley still, and then still those purples there for the northeastern United States. So as you can see, compared to yesterday, we actually have less agreement today. So my confidence has stayed the same. Here we are taking a look at my confidence tab, and we're at a 4 out of 6 still. We know there's going to be a snowstorm. We know it's going to be a plowable snow event for many people, but the intensity is kind of a question mark, and the location is still a question mark. So the confidence is not on the rise yet, but I'm hoping by tomorrow morning we will have a bit of a tick in the better direction there with the confidence. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, which state do you think will be the most impacted by this major snowstorm? And weather today said Indiana will be the most impacted by this system, and I think that that's a good possibility there. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons: Property Damage, John Benbenek, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Alan Belemo, Adam S., Larry LePan, Donna Carnes, Cameron Marshall, and Aidan Mattis, alongside our diamond patrons: Bill Roberts, Alan Cherry, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalesa, Michael Buell, Cat Bite, Charles Stinnett, Kellen Manhart, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Mark J., Luke Flago, Garys, and John Quilisi. If you would like to be a part of this patron end screen of the day, you can do so by joining our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. And then I also want to thank our channel members here, Hair Farms 1, which is our weather top dog, and then also our super fan, Phoenix Nimitz. If you would like to be a part of this end screen of the day, you can do so by joining our awesome channel membership, and that's going to be next to the subscribe button down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to destroy the like button. You guys have been killing it. It really helps the algorithm to suggest this video for more people, and that just is a really good thing overall. Obviously, you can leave a comment down below. That also helps. Be sure to subscribe if you like weather-related content. I will see you guys in the next video.